G20 meet at Varanasi, where we had a lot of young delegates from across the world. I was invited to present a session, a 90-minute session on the future of work and job creation. Because it is believed by the Ministry of Youth Affairs that eYantra is very active in this space relating to the future of work and job creation. So it might be worth sharing a little presentation with you in which I could illustrate this. It's part of the presentation that we gave at the G20. In a nutshell, it is this, and this theme I will repeat again and again and again. Okay, in the sense that for various reasons, jobs are going to reduce in number. Legacy jobs are going to reduce in number, whether it's in legal work, paralegal work, healthcare, software, copywriting, all the kind of skill sets, manufacturing and all that, due to the increasing penetration of automation and robotics, the number of low-level jobs are going to reduce. The number of repetitive jobs are going to reduce. As it is, just this morning, I read that the major employers in the software industry like Cognizant, TCS, Infosys, and all that are not going to hire as many people this year. They are going to reduce, that's going to reduce by almost 50,000 the number of jobs available. And you can see why that's happening. Because of automation and toolings like ChatGPT and the way it helps you write code and things like that. Now, typically, the lesser programmers can become average programmers, because let's say that ChatGPT allows you to write average programs, right? It lets less skillful programmers become the level of average programmers by leaning on ChatGPT to write code. As a result of which, the existing programmers are going to become twice as productive. It also means that there's going to be a difference between haves and have-nots, right? Between the people who have knowledge about AI and how to use AI, and between those who don't know how to use AI. It'll create a distinction between people who are entrepreneurial in nature and those who are not entrepreneurial in nature. By entrepreneurial, it doesn't mean doing a startup. By entrepreneurial means having a problem-solving mindset. Everything in life is a problem. Finding a wife is a problem that needs to be solved. Finding a girlfriend is a problem that needs to be solved. Finding a job is a problem that needs to be solved. And I would expect students in college to be thinking about the future, right? 3 years hence, trying to identify what are the kind of jobs or opportunities which could exist then, and to design themselves for those kind of markets which will exist in future. So whereas this eYantra innovation challenge is an experience, it's an experience. It doesn't guarantee to convert you into entrepreneurs. It's an experience in which you learn how to become entrepreneurs, how to become entrepreneurial in your engagement with life. Okay, so we have three major initiatives in eYantra. One is we build infrastructure at colleges in the shape of labs, which are meant to become addas, where people become more problem-solving oriented in their thinking. Then we have an eYantra robotics competition, eYIC as we call it. And in that we train students in technology stacks. Now, these technology stacks could be like the drone stack, the control system stack, the functional programming stack, the collaborative robotics stack. Each of these stacks is guaranteed to make you employable when you leave college. It's guaranteed to make you entrepreneurial, to make you able to work as a team and collaborate and things like that. It's a 6-month, very intense experience in which we train you in a particular technology. And we've chosen that technology to make you highly employable. And we have proof. We have proof that shows that anybody that eYantra has touched gets placements at 50 to 100% more than other students. The career velocity of a student who's been touched by us is much higher than that of other students. And generally, they are more successful because they've done all this work apart from the usual academic work. Now, academic work, everybody expects you to do. Even when we get people who want to join us for work, we get students who are very bright, but we look for something more than just brightness. We look for something more than just grades, because grades everybody has, and with grades you can fool the systems. Just because somebody has a good grade, it doesn't mean that they are very practically oriented or they can solve problems or be good programmers and all that, which is what we want. So every employer is looking for problem solvers, is looking for a problem solving mindset, is looking for a person who does not need to be micromanaged. I would much rather have an employee who says, sir, we are trying to achieve this, but I feel that if we do this, it'll take me an investment of 2, 3 months to master this software and all that. And we can do the same job at half the price or much more effectively if we just try this different way of doing things. That's the kind of person we would like to have around us. Not someone who needs to be micromanaged and said, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. It's no fun. So this is the kind of outlook that eYantra tries to cultivate through its various initiatives, its labs, its eYantra robotics competition, and especially through this eYantra innovation challenge. In this challenge, we train you to be entrepreneurial. How do we do that? We train you to solve problems. Now, how do we do that? We train you in critical thinking. How? So we encourage you to go into the world and look for interesting problems to solve. So there's a process by which we will lead you through all this. Of course, we'll point you out to a lot of material. So there's a lot of self-learning to do and things like that. Okay, but the fact is that if you're persistent, if you're willing to learn, you will get a lot out of this 6-month experience. The more work you put in, the more you're going to get out of it. So treat us as mentors, as guides who will point you to the right material. And in a particular space of time, we will take you through a huge and hugely rewarding journey. Okay, so that's what this experience is all about. Perhaps I should share a few slides with you to just give you a flavor for what is on the menu here. So let me just okay. Okay, let me get back to this. Lohit, I might have to quit WebEx and come back. Do I have your permission to do that?
Sure, sure. Yeah.
You'll have to again sort of give me audio video permissions.
Yes, yes. Yeah, meanwhile, I think Harsh has asked a question.
Okay.
Yes, so you can rejoin. Meanwhile, this answer this question. So Harsh, I think we can take this question towards the end, which should be addressed, and I think it's a question that most of the participants will have. Avantika, is it audible now? Okay. Jainam has asked a question on eYIC registrations. eYIC for this year is already started. You cannot register for the competition this year, but you'll have to wait for the next year. Jayesh, so the video is not clear. It may be a bandwidth issue on your side, because here, at least I don't have any problem in the video. So maybe you can move to a place where the network is better. Yes, I am recording this session. This will be available to all the registered participants once this session is over on Discourse. So we have started a discourse which will be available for you very soon. You can join there and you'll get all the details there. Yes, all the submissions that are required, we will let you know towards in the presentation. I will mention what is required by the registered participants. Harsha, yes. No problem is solved until there's a perfect solution. So you can definitely address those. How is selection process? Yes, we will mention all of those in the presentation. Proposal sprint is actually this sprint, which is the innovation sprint, which is ongoing. Muturaj. So the duration is, I think, till November 3rd. So not November 3rd, November 8th, I guess. So you'll have to submit all the required documents in that duration. Mega, you don't have to submit now. You have time, I think 1 month, and then you'll have to submit. Harjot Singh, you can see there are a lot of videos on eYIC on YouTube. You can definitely check that out. But there is no repo as such for there's no repo as such for all the old submissions. You can visit the YouTube videos and then you can find them. But few of the ideas can be old and the solution might not be there yet. So you should do a self search and then come up with a modified solution for it. Okay, Kavi sir is back, and I think we'll hand over the session to him for a while, and we'll come back. Kavi sir, we can see your screen, but we can't hear you. Kavi sir, if you're trying to talk, we're not audible.
I hope you can hear me now.
Yes, yes, we can.
And I hope you can see my presentation.
Yes, yes.
Okay, good. So I'll go to that now. Um, okay, so this is what it's all about. We're creating innovators who can turn problems into opportunities. And here's the interesting opportunity that we have. You know, we have a very rapidly growing economy, which is growing exponentially actually, because it took 60 years to become $1 trillion. That's when you see lots of shopping malls and foreign cars and appliances and all that. Then it took only about 7 years to become $2 trillion, and now we are $3.5 trillion, which creates a huge demand for products and services and kind of things that people would not pay for before. Okay, you are seeing that all around you. And not only that, now the world is looking for C+1, the China plus one opportunity. So a lot of manufacturing opportunities are hitting this country, and anything that you build locally costs about 1/8 of the cost of importing it. And the biggest advantage we have in the world is that 50% of our population is below the age of 29. And these are the people who should be innovating and building all these kind of new products and services that we need. And that's not happening because our engineers are not trained to be problem solvers. Our engineers are at the moment trained to just read books and pass exams, which is not really what engineering is all about. So what we do is, through our various initiatives, we try and change the mindset of students. One of the principal things that we try to do is that we encourage you to subject everything to the scrutiny of reason. That means question everything around you. You know, I'm buying this service for this much cost. Could I do it for less? I see this product. Could I make it for less, sell it for less? There's this need out there in the market for something, right, which a lot of other people also face. Can that be a potential product which I can build and sell? So these are the important processes that need to be imbibed by young people who need to have a curiosity to question the status quo. So eYantra is basically a teacher in this journey where we try to complement your education with a project-based learning where you learn by actually doing. And it's a very low cost and scalable way of training large numbers of people online using mainly open source software. So we train you in hard skills through the eYantra robotics competition. That means technology stacks and all that kind of things. Soft skills through working as a team, managing your time, developing communication skills and all these kind of things. And the most important things are the future skills, which are the ones that lead to entrepreneurship, things like self-learning, critical thinking, research, and all that. Okay, so these are the three main initiatives we have. We have the lab setup initiative. We have the competition, which trains you in basic stacks, which can lead to jobs and startups. And we have the innovation challenge, which trains you in the process, how to look for an interesting problem to solve, and then systematically, how do you build a minimum viable product, and then how do you pitch it to a potential investor. Even if you don't want to become an entrepreneur, this training is extremely important. And our impact over the last 10 years has been is that we've touched over 2 lakh students, 3,000 colleges have been engaged with, and lots of internships have been offered. We are working especially on creating lots of internship opportunities in the IIT research parks across the country. Some fantastic startups have emerged out of eYantra. Muthu Vangaliyappan, for instance, who took part in the competition in 2012, then he took part in our internship program for 2 years. He's got a company called Catamaran. They sell mobile security robots to condominium societies in Singapore. 50 condominium societies, which have typically 10 security guards each, have opted for his solutions, his robots, which patrol the campus, and they're able to do the job of 10 guards with just about 6 guards. And 4 guards' work is done by his robots. And there are a number of other companies which have been started by eYantra alumni. And so now we have the innovation challenge, which you're a part of. And over the years, we've had various themes like inclusive cities, agriculture, sustainability, climate change. There are lots and lots of opportunities. These reflect domains in which there's a lot of potential for creating innovation or innovative products and services of various kinds. And we have about 500 plus labs across the country, as you can see here in this in this illustration. And the way we train people in the competition is through a simulator first, and then we train them on actual hardware. So that's how we train them in all these technology stacks. Everything is open source. Simulator and actually fish, which they've actually built and deployed. There's a drone inside the simulator, and then we actually train them on the actual drone itself, like so here. And this is a very powerful way of training people. And we realize that people are using these skills to do startups of various kinds. Here's another thing. We have an IoT stack. Those who are interested in IoT can also be trained in this program. Some students at FISAT, the Federal Institute of Technology in Ernakulam, have used our IoT stack to triple the yield of vegetables that they have in their hydroponics farm, which is, I think, 1.5 hectares or whatever. And we conducted a survey of eYantra lab coordinators and students, and we found that many of the students who we touch through the competition or through eYIC, many of them go for startups. Either they join startups, they do their own startup, or they go for higher degrees. And those who don't do that get excellent jobs. And most of them believe that the velocity of career progression becomes much higher because of the eYantra experience that they get. Strongly agree is blue, agree is red. And typically, wherever we have labs, senior students are training the junior students. That means that any interesting knowledge that we throw at our labs, it is captured and the juniors are trained with it. And students are getting more and more project ideas after they set up labs. So if your college doesn't have a lab, maybe you should convince your management to have a lab. And typically, the startup package of students who've engaged with us is 10 to 50% higher typically, and 50 to 100% higher in a number of other instances. These are students themselves saying that. And in summary, all I wanted to say is that jobs are going to be in short supply. So you should have an entrepreneurial outlook. You can be entrepreneurial inside a company, or you can be entrepreneurial outside a company. Inside a company is called intrapreneur. And the opportunities are vast because the economy is growing exponentially, and there are lots of interesting problems to solve. And the person who will solve these problems is the one who's embedded inside that opportunity. The entrepreneur is embedded inside the opportunity. The problems that you see sitting in Jharsuguda or small towns or wherever you are things that I cannot see in Bombay or in New York or whatever. So you actually own the problems, and you are the ones who can actually construct a solution. So our job is to help you identify these things and build an interesting solution which can be the basis for startups. So problems are actually opportunities. So we build these kind of innovation ecosystems. So that's what we do. And I'm going to stop here. And perhaps it's a good place to take questions if there are any here.
If you want to ask a question, you can also raise your hand. Yeah, or you can put in the chat.
We also write about our codes. No, I think at this stage, what's much more important is the ideas you have for a problem that you want to solve, right? Because at this stage, we need to think about uh, what is an interesting problem out there that we should solve? Who's the customer who will buy a solution? How much will they pay? How much energy is there in the idea? How many others might be having a similar kind of problem such that this might turn into a product or a service which has demand? The more people who need a solution, the more money you'll make out of it. The more margin, it might be a smaller number of people, but they are the richer customers who might be willing to pay much more for it. So we will train you in the process in which to identify good ideas which can lead to opportunities. I hope that answers your question. Any others? How many ideas can we submit? You can submit.
Only one.
Well, Lohit, I will ask
only
you
one.
to.
It's only one.
Only one this
Only
time,
one
is it?
Yes.
So basically, you will have to brainstorm your ideas with your teachers, mentors, and other people, and just submit one. Otherwise, the number of people who are participating in this. If we multiply it by n, it'll become too much for us to cope with. So you need to look at all the ideas that you have and select one based on how much energy you find in it. So the next 6 months plans is what Lloyd should talk about next.
Yes.
Once I hand the floor to him. Do we have to make a hardware model or a software model? You have to make a working prototype, which is a minimum viable product, if you like, with which you can sell the idea to an investor. That means it has to be a working model of some kind. It could be software, it could be hardware, whatever it is. But it should be enough with which you can convince a person that you understood the problem and that you have the capability of building a solution to it. I think now that people are asking for specifics here, can we visit IIT Bombay? When you come to the finals, you can definitely visit IIT Bombay. So what typically we do is based on the number of interesting solutions that come, we bring them to regional finals, which are typically in Delhi, Coimbatore, and other places. And based on how many interesting ideas have come. And the finals we have at the eYantra symposium, which is typically at the beginning of April at IIT Bombay, where we'll pay your up-down fares, we'll host you for a couple of days, and you can attend all the sessions here. Okay, what date do we give the idea? All these things I think Lohit will speak about now. How many stages? He'll speak to you about that. I think Lohit, we've set
Yes, yes.
the
As
stage
in, yeah.
up for you to make your presentation.
Yeah.
So I think people are convinced that this should be an interesting experience, and it's up to you now to uh, show them the way that we'd be expecting them to spend their time. Okay, so
Yeah.
over to you, Lohit.
All right. So is my screen visible?
Yes, it is.
Okay, perfect. Okay, thank you, sir, for laying out the importance of the innovation challenge. So I think it's more important for the participants as to how the competition is or the challenge is going to go forward from now until the finals. So we have a small presentation, and I think many of you all are already aware of the things, but this is for people who still have doubts, and that can be cleared in this orientation. So again, welcome to the challenge this year. So this was a poster that everybody knows, and the more important thing in this poster was the themes that are acceptable this year. So those are disaster management, innovations, inclusive cities, and agriculture. So we are mainly looking at solving real world problems, and in the process of solving these problems, you may have a viable startup idea. So that is what this eYantra Innovation Challenge is all about. There are different stages. We will see that soon. But more importantly, how do we make this possible? Since most of you know that eYantra is more into the technical aspect of the competition, and since we had to have uh, better material and better resources on the startup and what is entrepreneurship, we have tied up this year with Sign IIT Bombay, which is a incubator, and Desai School of Entrepreneurship. So these two entities will help you and the eYantra itself to guide you in the entrepreneurship journey. And more importantly, what entrepreneurship is and what are the key skills required for being an entrepreneur. So this year, these are the two stakeholders. So these are the themes: agriculture, inclusive cities, and disaster management. So inclusive cities, agriculture, disaster management is pretty self-explanatory, but inclusive cities is more to do with uh, services or technology that you want to build to address difficulty that the PWDs are facing. So that is what the inclusive cities means. So there are a lot of resources available which I will show a screenshot of what and where they are. And those, if you go through those resources, you will try to understand what these different themes are and what ideas or projects come under these big baskets. So, like I said, there are different stages in this competition, and many of you already know, but it's more important to understand what these different stages are. So this year it's pretty simple. We have only 3 stages. The first stage is right now ongoing, and the deadline is November 3rd, which is the innovation sprint. I'm going to stress more on this sprint because this is where you need to start building, ideating things and formally trying to build something, right? Or start ideating and start building a prototype of the same. So what we are focusing in this is get you know-hows of what you need to do. So for that, we have a lot of resources that you already have seen once you have logged into the portal. I'll also show a screenshots of all those different resources available. So what you're going to do in this innovation challenge is go through those materials and come up with 3 important submissions. So the first is a business pitch, which can be, we will, over the competition duration, you will better the business pitch. But this is to understand, the concept of, at least to start with, what a business pitch is. So here, business pitch means it's a pitch deck or a presentation deck which showcases what your business is all about, presenting your business or a potential startup that you think can be a very big importance for solving. Then we have a business canvas. This is a single page document which has multiple boxes, and you need to fill those based on what each of those boxes require to be filled with, right? All this is already available to you, and we will share the templates very soon as the submission deadline approaches. Then, most importantly, is the technical proposal. So if you have a very good idea and you think this is a very good potential business, but still you'll have to implement it. So that is what you need to highlight in this technical proposal document. We have templates for all of this. All of this will be available to you. You have to go to those templates, go to the resources that we're sharing with you, and then build these 3 documents for submission. Okay, so this is already ongoing. It started the minute the registration closed, and you did have the resources, but many people didn't know what the resources were all about. So that is why we'll mention that in this few slides, upcoming few slides. So again, please keep in mind the deadline is November 3rd. We are going to stick to this deadline. We're not going to extend it. So please follow it and give it a little priority so that you can meet this deadline. So this is what I'm talking about. So when you log into the portal, you should see multiple resources with different colorful tabs. So there is one resource bundle here which says breaking barriers. This is a very important resource for understanding what inclusive cities are, what are the different problems that PWDs are facing, and you can look at all these videos that are recorded specifically for people who are interested in building some product that can address these problems. So there are a lot of videos. Feel free to go through all these videos. If you're already decided your domain, well and good. You can just go through those set of videos and then refine your idea based on what is shared with you on those video recordings. But if you're not sure which domain to follow, it's a good thing that we have all the 3 resources available to you. This is for inclusive cities. So go through these videos, get a feel of what needs to be addressed. And if you just take a walk after seeing all these videos, if you just take a walk, a long walk outside, you will try to articulate a lot of ideas that can address these problems. So this is one of them, and there are a lot of resources that are available. Go through it. You are a team of maybe 2 to 4 members. You can break it if you're not finalized your idea yet, the domains. So you can give each member a domain. They can go through them parallelly, and then you can sit together and discuss which particular domain you want to address. If you already have fixed the domain, well and good. You can just go through those videos for that particular domain, and you can start building your uh, documents based on that. So similarly, we have innovation and entrepreneurship, content, and go-to-market. So innovation and entrepreneurship is a very interesting deck of videos which highlight you as to how to look for problems, and then how do you validate those problems. So that's very important if you already don't have an idea that you want to address. So looking at these set of videos will give you a very good intuition as to how you can look for one and how to validate them. And the business model canvas is also part of this deck. So you can go straight away to the week 4 and look at the business model canvas, well and good. But if you want to go through the formal process of looking for ideas and how do you validate them, this 4 weeks of content is excellent. Then you have go to market, which talks about how you can make your business pitch deck. What are the different entities required for making those pitch decks? Then what are the different investments? Where do the investments come from? All these ideas, if you're not aware of, is a very huge knowledge here that you can gain just by looking at these videos on go-to-market. Then you have another set of resource for disaster management, which talks about what are the different classes of disasters. Everybody knows that disaster means it's something that's catastrophic that has happened. But actually, there are a lot of subclasses of how do you classify what is a disaster, what are different kinds of disasters. So all of those are covered here, and that will give you a better intuition as to what sub disaster you're trying to address if you already are addressing a problem in this domain. So you can go through these resources. Again, a lot of knowledge here that you can gain with this disaster management as well. So apparently we don't have any resources for agriculture because the inclusive cities and disaster management was more of a subject that not everybody is aware of. So that's why we had to create resources for these 2 domains. But agriculture is a vast field, and it's been there from ages, and our ancestors have been agriculturists or farmers. So there are a lot of problems that one can address in the agricultural domain, and I'm pretty sure that more than 50% of the crowd will be looking at the agricultural domain because there are a lot of problems that can be solved there. But yeah, there are no resources available because it's open there and you can look at all those problems. But for inclusive cities and disaster management, there are a lot of resources. And overall, what is entrepreneurship and how to ideate a problem, all of that is there in these 2 decks, and you can go through it. These 2 decks are compulsory or it's mandatory for all the participants, irrespective of the domain, because this will give you a solid foundation and supporting arguments that you can put in your submissions to validate or strengthen your idea. That is important. So yeah, these are the different resources that are available.
Rohit, for agriculture, we do have talks and things like this, which we can share as pointers to interesting ideas for innovation.
Yes. Okay, so I
Of
think for that, so if anybody is working in the agriculture domain, if you have if you want these resources, we'll make it available on the Discuss forum, which you all will be enrolled very soon. So yeah, we do have a lot of resources for agriculture, but in terms of recordings, but it's not formally put in the resource tab. But yeah, we'll share it with you on the Discuss forum. Okay. So unlike last year's, if you are re-participating this year, we normally don't share the evaluation parameters. So what's going to happen is after the deadline on November 3rd, we will be evaluating your submissions. And these submissions will be evaluated by both our stakeholders, which is SIGN and Desai School of Entrepreneurship, School of Entrepreneurship. They will be evaluating you on the business pitch and business canvas, and the eYantra team will be evaluating you on the technical aspect, the technical proposal. So like I was saying, previously we never used to mention the evaluation parameters, but this year we felt that we need to mention this so that you are aware of what we're going to evaluate you on. And these are the parameters that will be evaluated by the SIGN and DSSE group of faculty. And these are the parameters. So please be aware that these parameters will be the key for shortlisting for the next stage. So after November 3rd, after the evaluations are complete, the evaluations and the results will be announced towards the end of November. And that time, these are the parameters which are important. Okay. So please keep in mind, we will be sharing this evaluation parameters on Discuss forum. And you need to keep this in mind when you're preparing all your documents. And similarly, we have a set of parameters for the technical proposal as well. And these will be assessed. And these will be the, all these parameters, whatever templates we're going to share with you for submission, will cover all of these parameters. So it doesn't mean that these are parameters that we are asked and nothing is reflecting on your submissions. They will be reflecting. So please make sure that you address all these parameters in your submissions. Okay. So if you do have any doubts on what these different parameters are, you can ask us on Discuss after this presentation is made available to you all on Discuss forum. Then we can look at each of these questions in detail, because in the discussion forum, all the registered participants are going to be there. And if you're going to ask a question, the question will be visible to everybody and the answer will be available to everybody. So feel free to ask your questions, and it will be great to interact with the other teams also on the Discuss forum. So again, please keep in mind, these two parameters lists are important for you in terms of getting qualified for the next stages. Okay. And all of this is going to happen in the first stage or the sprint, which is called the innovation sprint. Right. After the innovation sprint, or while we are actually working on shortlisting, you can start working on the POC. Okay. So POC is basically proof of concept. And I think one of you asked the question is, should it be hardware or can it be software? It can be both. We did have a lot of solutions that participants gave in the previous years, which was a web-based service or an Android app. So it can be either, but both of them should have a proof of concept. So meanwhile, when we are trying to shortlist you based on the submissions that you have made, you can start working on the prototype. So that's why we kept this duration of November 7th to December 1st. So after December 1st, we will be taking your videos of the POC. Okay. So this will not be straight away used for elimination or shortlisting. But if there is an ambiguity in your submissions based on the 3 submissions that we're going to take, the business pitch, the business canvas, and the technical proposal, we will look at your videos. So it is mandatory that you have to submit this video, and this will be used if there is an ambiguity in shortlisting you to the next stage. Please keep this in mind. Okay, so you have to submit. It is compulsory to submit. And the deadline is December 1st. So when we announce the shortlisted students on December 8th, we will be using all that you have submitted till December 1st. Okay. So this is what is the prototyping sprint, which is going to last from November 7th all the way to December 1st. After this is what is important and will last for a long time. And this is where we engage with participants or registered teams very closely, right? So in this duration, which is a 2.5 month long duration, which starts on December 11th all the way to Feb 8th, we will be having weekly meetings with all the shortlisted students. Okay, weekly meeting with all the shortlisted students to monitor their progress. If they're having any difficulty in the technical aspects, they will be addressed by eYantra. And there will be a fortnightly meeting with the business partners, which is Sign and DSSE. So if you have any difficulty in refining your business pitch or business canvas, you will be mentored by the experts there, but this will be happening fortnightly. Okay, so weekly, we will be, the eYantra team will be looking at you or guiding you for the 2.5 months every week. And it's advised that all the teams attend these review sessions. If the whole team is not there, it's okay, but at least one member of the team should be there to share their progress and how they are doing, what are the different difficulties they are trying to address, if they need any support. All of that can be looked at in this 2.5 month. Right. So this is where we formally engage with the registered or shortlisted participants. Till then, we will be engaging with you on Discuss Forum only. And please do not send us emails. Emails are the last resort that you need to take, because we will be looking at you, looking at all the queries on the Discuss Forum, because there are a few questions that are repetitive. So once we address those questions, answer those questions on the Discuss Forum, if the question arises to some other participants, they can look at that and not ask the same question again. So please be active on the Discuss Forum, and that's important. So what happens is, in this implementation sprint, you'll be refining your POCs. So proof of concepts is ready. You have some idea, you have a scaled down version of your prototype if it's a hardware, and you know everything, and you are ready to go and full-fledgedly implement your idea. So that will happen in this 2.5 months. After this 2.5 months, after the mentorships, you will be submitting a video of your idea, your implementation. So you will have to submit the video, complete working of the video, and a recorded version of your pitch deck. So formally, this is like a Shark Tank, but you will have to record it to us and send it to us. So you have a business pitch that is refined over the time. You will have to use that, record it, send it to us, and we also have your technical video, the demo of your complete implementation. So both of them will be jointly evaluated, and then the final shortlisting for the regional finals will be done. Okay, so the numbers, maybe the questions are like how many people will be going through each stage. The numbers are not fixed, but for the regional finals, there will be a huge drop that is guaranteed, because we need to try to accommodate all of those shortlisted for the regional finals in the regional centers. So that for that reason, there will be a huge cut. So put in all your efforts in during this implementation sprint to make sure that you have addressed all the inputs that we have given you in that duration of 2.5 months. Okay, so it's important for you to attend all of the review meets so that you have better chance to make it to the regional finals, right? So the deadline for the sprint of implementation is February 8th, and the declaration of the shortlisted team for the regional finals will be done by February 14th. Okay. After this, where the regional finals are going to happen, how you have to get there, what is the dates, all of those will be finalized after the shortlisting is done. And the regionals will be very close to you, wherever you are participating from. That's why we have a regional finals. So it will be easier for you to come to that local regional center easily. So that will be announced to you only after the shortlisting is done, right? Because we don't know where the clusters are going to be. So based on where most of the shortlisted teams are from, the regional center will be chosen based on that. Okay, so the regional finals will happen. Right now, we have put a tentative date saying it can happen anywhere between February 21st to 29th. So that can change. It can stretch over 2 weeks. It can just be in this week. So that will be decided later. But more importantly, this is the first time we will be meeting all of the shortlisted teams in person. So up till that point, and up till the regional finals, everything is going to happen online, right? So once you're shortlisted after the implementation sprint, we will see you personally in the regional finals. Okay, and here you have to do a live pitch. So till now you had a video of the pitch that you recorded based on your pitch deck, and the video demonstration of the implementation of your project. But in the regional finals, you have to do it in person. So the whole team with your mentor will be there in the regional finals. You have to do a live pitch to our jury who's going to be there in the regional finals, and the demonstration of the final product. So all of this will happen in the regional finals. After the regional finals is when there will be a handful of finalists who will come to the last stage. It's not a stage, it's like the finale. And all the teams who have made it or qualified at the regional finals will have a chance to come to the finals. It may so happen that all who have shortlisted for the regional finals can be the finalists. It can happen. Again, it depends on how well you have prepared your pitch deck and your working prototype or working product. Okay, so the finalists will be brought to IIT Bombay, like Kavisa said in the start. You will be hosted here, and the finalists will redo what they did in the regional finals. So regional finals, you had to pitch. You will have to do the same pitch here. Maybe refine it based on the inputs that you got in the regional finals, and then the demo will also be happening the same way what is to be scheduled to happen in the regional finals, right? So you'll have a nice little stall where you have all the resources given to you. You set up your demo. You have a audience who will visit your stalls, evaluate you. We have faculty who will evaluate you, and the faculty of the our stakeholders this year, SIGN and DSSC, they will evaluate you on your pitch decks. Okay, your formal pitching to them. Clear? So this is how we have laid out the complete innovation challenge for this year. Okay, so I'm repeating. The first stage is innovation sprint, which is already ongoing. The next is prototyping sprint, That is the duration where we will be evaluating you based on the submissions that you have made, and you will be working on the prototypes. Okay. And after that, you have the implementation sprint, and then you have the regionals, and then you have the finals. It's simple, right? So if you still have any doubts, we will take it up in the Q&A towards the end. Okay. So we always do have something, to motivate you for being successful in this challenge, and that's working regularly. It's pretty challenging for students, especially for if you are close to the final year or third year or fourth year students, to find time. But it is possible for you to allocate little uh, time for this purpose, and this will give you to do something else rather than just studying throughout the day. So maybe daily, if you spend 1 or 2 hours a day, I think you should be able to do a lot in that duration for this particular challenge, right? So our goal, to help you build a startup, or to make you understand what the startup ecosystem is. Okay. The resources, especially with the innovation and entrepreneurship and go to market, these two resources that you have, that everybody has to go through, will give you a very good insight of what the startup ecosystem is. Okay. We do want you to build a startup by the end of the challenge, but it is okay if you're not able to do it. At least you should know what startup is all about. In the future, down 5 or 10 years later, you want to do a startup, you should not say that I don't know what a startup is. Okay. So that's our goal, and that's the end of the presentation. So now I think we can take up few questions, and for this I will unmute everybody, but please unmute yourself only if you have questions, and so that it does not distract our answering process. Just a minute as I unmute you all.
So Lohit, there's some very interesting questions about things like mentorship and things like that. I just like to make a few points with your permission.
Yeah, sure, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. So eYantra is basically a teacher. It's a trainer. Sometimes you might have thought of what if I did a startup, or what does it need to do a startup, and so on. We train you in the process systematically that if you want to do a startup, this is the process by which we do it. It is tough. It helps you discover your own passion in the process. It makes you work in a way that you've never worked before. It teaches you skill sets that you never knew existed in you. It exercises muscles in your brain that were never exercised before, especially your muscles relating to innovation, problem solving, all these kind of things, which are very, very essential skills. Presentation skills. How, if you have an idea, you need to present it in a particular way. You need to convince people of the idea. Just having a good idea is not good enough. Okay, so there's a process that takes you through this entire journey. That's what's important. Students have found this process very important, that, if you were just left alone to discover it yourself, it would be very difficult and very risky. But in the process of 6 months, we compress an entire experience. And that's what's important about this. And again, as we said earlier, you get as much out of it as you put into it. And it rewards you much, much more than just doing your academics. Because these are the skill sets that the world respects a lot. And these are the skill sets which will get developed along the way. Okay. And people asked about mentorship here. We are expecting that there'll be a faculty member from your college who will be your local mentor. And the other kind of indirect mentorship you get is from the review and feedback that comes from us, and also from perhaps the conversations you'll have on the discussion forum, because you're not alone. There are so many others who are going through the same process as you. Okay. And someone asked if the idea was not good, do we get a chance to change our idea? You don't really get a chance to change your idea because it's a very compressed competition, right? You get one chance to see if your idea is accepted, and then we have to move on. We don't have that much time to try different ideas. And will your mentor participate with you? This is your own college mentor in this case, right? We expect them to be a team member with you and to kind of help you in the process and so on. And certificates you'll get only after the regionals, right? That you'll get a certificate if you come to the regionals or you come to the finals, right? And we try to make the regionals very inclusive. So as many teams as possible, we try to bring them to the regionals so they have an opportunity to exhibit what they've done and their ideas and things like that. This process of review, of sharing with other people, trying to justify what you've done is a very important experience. And we want to give as many students that kind of experience. I hope this makes sense. And one of the reasons for doing this is to perhaps discover a passion. And I feel that by engaging in this competition in the right way, not only can you learn a lot, but you can have a really good time. You can have fun. You can learn a lot in the process by asking questions of various kinds of of the society and yourself and so on. Someone is asking if it's state-wise. It is not state-wise. Regional is that we get X number of entries from across the country which are of a certain quality, and then we try to figure out where the clusters are, where the maximum number of entries are, and then we try and pick a town close by, so that the distance that people have to come is not unreasonable. So it's a reasonable distance, and then we have the regional finals there, and we try to pick a town which is well connected by roads and railways and air and so on. Like typically it's been Chennai, Bangalore, Coimbatore, Pune, Mumbai, Delhi, places like that. Okay. We give certificates in the regionals and we give certificates obviously in the finals also. Yeah, Lohit, over to you. So we have a team here. We have Lohit Penubaku here, and we have Veena, and anybody else that we have here with us today?
Venkatesh is there with Veena.
Okay, Venkatesh, Sri Venkatesh
Yes.
is there with us. If you can just show your faces, then people know who they are speaking to. I shall bow out now and leave the floor to you. Okay.
Yeah, sure, sir. Yeah.
So Lohit is doing himself some very interesting work. He's doing a PhD in the space of agricultural sensors, trying to predict pest attacks using geographical information systems, satellite imagery, and all those type of things. Maybe he can tell you a little bit about what he's doing, and I hope that that comes into a startup right after he's done. Veena has done a PhD in biochemistry, but she's very interested in working with the students. And Sri Venkatesh is a former eYantra intern who's joined us as staff on the project. So over to you, Lohit.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Okay. Veena, is there any questions that needs to be addressed? Important ones.
There is one question asked by Pranav, who has asked how many ideas can we submit?
Yeah, I think you can submit only one idea. So if you're already chosen your domain, then it's better if you have multiple ideas within the domain. You can discuss with your parents, you can discuss with your friends, or you can discuss with your faculty members. They can properly tell you, is that even worth exploring or not, right? So you need to talk to somebody. It's better that way to finalize one particular idea. And parents are the best to do that, or your faculty are the best. Yeah, Veena.
There is a question from Mashreyansh. Should we also write about our codes along with the ideas in presentation?
Codes, no, not required. Codes are something that you can implement the same thing in how many ever different ways you want. So code is not our main focus. Are you addressing the problem that you are presenting is what is more important. How is not important.
Lohit, I'll take your leave now. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So the next question is the ideas that we have presented, should we have to make a hardware model or a software model of the proposed solution?
Both is fine. It is not required only, it should be hardware, should be only software. As long as you are addressing an problem that falls in one of the three domains. That's important.
And there have been queries from two others who are asking, will we choose the problem from the list or will you provide us with the specific problem?
You can choose from the list if you think it's important, or I suggest you search for a problem all by yourself, because problem discovery is itself a very important skill to have. So once you have identified a problem, then you can start analyzing if this problem is worth exploring or not. Okay, that's a very good practice, and it will last a long time for anyone who can do this as a formal practice. I see one question, is MOOC course compulsory? No, it's not. We're not going to evaluate you. It is more for you to understand what you are up to and what is expected from each one of you. Krishna, once again, tell us about the innovation sprint. Yeah, innovation sprint is ongoing right now. So you have to submit three different documents. First is the business pitch. Second is business canvas and the technical proposal itself. And this should be done by November 3rd. That is the last date. And after that, you start working on your prototype. Veena, Venkatesh, any other important questions? I'm just looking at the recent ones.
And also, where do we find the resources for
Harjot,
IoT skill set development?
IoT skills, in the last year, we did give to everybody. But since the IoT resource has formally become a MOOC within eYantra, we are not giving that as part of resources this year. But we will put a poll on Discuss. If you're interested in taking this course again, maybe we can launch it for the eYIC cohort. But there is a fee for it separate, but we can discount it only for the eYIC participants, right? So that can be possible. So we will post a query on Discourse or Discuss, and we can see how many want that course in a formal way, and then that certification for that is separate. So if you're interested in that IoT, we can see how many numbers we have, and if the number is pretty good, we'll open the registrations for that at a nominal charge, and you can take that course formally. And that certification is separate from what you're going to do here. Harjot, you are all unmuted. So if you have a question, Harjot, you can unmute yourself and ask.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Sir, I have a question. Sir, will all the different themes like agriculture, disaster will have their separate winners, or there will be a single winner for all the themes?
That's a very good question. As of now, it's a single winner, but we will evaluate the cohort separately.
Okay, sir. And secondly, will be getting parts of sponsorship for making our model, like after
Uh,
regional finals or like after some level?
Yes, I think the implementation sprint, when you are formally engaging with us online, if it's a reasonable amount for the hardware, we can support, which is not disclosed to everybody as of now. But since you all are registered and formally part of this competition, if you still feel you need funding, we can help to an extent, depending on your demands. Because if you ask us, 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs, I don't think we can afford that. But yeah, it depends on what you need. And if we are capable of giving you those, we will do it. But this will happen only in the implementation sprint, not before
Okay.
that.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Harjot. Anybody else, if you have any questions that you want to ask, you can unmute and ask. No problem. Meanwhile, we are looking at the questions that are really populated in the chat box. Sir, is the
Excuse
solution
me,
of...
sir.
Yeah, who's this? Can you... Harshvardhan.
Can I
Yeah.
speak?
Yes, sure. Oh, it's Vijay. Okay, yeah.
Sir, I have come up with an idea which I am thinking of representing it in this competition. At the same time, I wanted to apply for patent of my idea.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any rule that's like rule of this competition that I can't represent any patented ideas or so? The idea
No,
will be
you
my
can.
own idea, which
Yes.
I'm trying to apply for patent through my college side.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you can.
Can I represent it
Actually,
in this
there is...
competition?
Yes, you can. Actually, there is an NOC that you need to sign, which has an IP clause in that. So if by chance, if you are going to become a startup, then maybe you will have to have eYantra also to be part of your IP. So just a percentage of it, because we are trying to introduce you to a lot of resources and formally mentoring you to refine your ideas. So we are just taking a portion of your IP. So if you still feel you can do that, you can continue. But yeah, I think there is one clause in the NOC that you need to sign. Is that a
Sir, and
problem with
the
you,
idea
Vijay?
and the ownership of my idea will be my own,
Will
right,
be
sir?
completely yours. Yes, it will be yours. It will be yours. But since we are trying to put in some efforts within the
Yeah, sure.
same idea that you have, we want to be part of that IP. But you will be the owner of it. We are not going to take it.
Sir,
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
sir, actually,
Yes.
there are many batches participating. If two teams have the same idea and the concept, based on which criteria to select the team, sir?
Who has the best solution and best business understanding?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Anybody else who has questions? Meanwhile, I request Veena and Sri Venkatesh to just look at important questions from the chat box. Harsh,
So where
Sir?
are the links posted to submit our 3 proposals?
we will enable it very soon. It's not enabled yet. So it will be visible in the portal where you find resources, right? So there will be another tab open called submission. And that's where you'll find all the templates.
Okay, sir.
Sir, can I
Sir, in
ask
one
a
of the
question?
presentations used before.
Just a minute. Vandana has a question. Vandana,
Sir,
go
in
ahead.
one of the presentations used before.
Vandana, go ahead. Vijay, just a minute.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. So, if the idea is already, registered for the patent, and so that particular idea can be, go ahead with the same, or
Yes, you can. If it's already filed, well and good.
yes, sir.
It'll be a very good selling point for qualifying for the finals.
Yeah, yeah. So,
With
so
respect to the IP thing, I think you may be having a question regarding that. So the IP, as of now, whatever you have filed, we cannot ask for anything in that. But whatever develops out of that
yes,
henceforth, right?
yes,
Then we'll be part of it. That's it.
yes. So for that, if we require some resources, we are lacking, then is
Yes.
eYantra going to help us?
Yes, we will. We will help you in the technical aspect as much as possible, but we have Sign and DSSE who are better in the incubation side. So in that aspect, yeah, they can help.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you so much.
Thank you, Vandana. Yes, Vijay.
Sir, in one of the previous slides used in the meeting, in the business evaluation parameters,
Yeah.
there was a statement that as the customers or stakeholders been properly identified. Sir, what does it mean, sir? Actually, like my idea has not yet been; it's only been patented.
Yes.
And I don't have any stakeholders or like that.
Yeah, so it's I think it's better you formally do that now. And what those are is available in those two resources that I mentioned: the entrepreneurship and innovation entrepreneurship content, and go to market. Those two resource decks have the answer to your question: what those stakeholders are and how to find them. Those are all important when you want to formally have a business, right? If you have a very good product, you have an IP, good, but is there anybody who is going to buy your product? That is what a stakeholder is.
So will this have a more weightage during like shortlisting of the project ideas also?
Yes, because the business pitch and the business canvas has this sub field which you need to populate, and that one of them is identifying those stakeholders. And you have enough time to do
Yes.
that since you already have an patent and it's at least formally accepted by the public. So, but I think you need to have a formal understanding of how you want to take it forward.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anybody else has any questions?
Hi,
Harsha?
sir. Sir.
Yeah.
So at present, we are developing some product in our college where the product, the phase one of the alpha one version was already in the market, and we are entered in the market as a startup from other company. But there are some problems, and we are going to resolve from this month. We have started to work over it, and we are planning to submit the same idea in eYINTRA innovation. It may make any conflicts.
No, not at all. Not at all. You also pretty much know that people go for funding to different funding agents, and
Ventures.
it's like everybody becomes a part of it over time. So it's okay, not a problem.
Okay, sir. So if the idea was not act or something, we can get a chance to replace the idea or change the idea.
When you cannot change it after you have submitted.
Okay, sir. Means
Okay,
we don't
midway
know,
of the
sir.
competition
Basically,
you
we
cannot.
are in very. Yes, sir. Basically, it was right, but we are at an innovation stage, and we don't. We are just students. How we know, sir, it was a good idea or not? We think it
Yeah,
was a good
that's
idea, and we do research.
yes. That's why I
We
think
think only.
those two important decks that I said now, that resources for everybody to take part. You need to go through those. That will give you an idea of evaluating your proposal.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Shama.
Yeah, so actually I have this question, whether eYantra has a plan for post-competition support or follow-up to assist winners in like further developing and implementing their projects, or how will eYantra support after the project is and everything is done?
You mean after this innovation challenge is complete? Is that the question?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So as part of the final reward that everybody gets, if your idea is really good and you have impressed our business partners, which is Sign and DSSE, you can actually formally apply for and place for incubation. Okay. In the incubator here in IIT Bombay. So in that aspect, we will support you indirectly through sign. Okay. Our part is basically our part here ends at the finals, where we have groomed you to understand what the business is all about, and you have already implemented something technically.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Shan. Nishant.
Yes, sir. Sir, actually, we have taken part in both the competition, eYantra and Eureka, so IIT Bombay. Can we pitch the same idea, or do we have to make some changes in that idea?
It's since you brought it up, I would say no. But there are people, they have people who have done that without mentioning it. But since you have already suggested a solution, I think, yeah, if you make some changes in your solution, I think it's okay. But it's not correct to have the same thing within the same organization, at least. I think both are in IIT Bombay, right?
Yeah, yes, sir. Thank you,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay. Anybody who wants to ask a question before I move to Veena and Sri Venkatesh to highlight few important questions that can be answered?
Sir, do we get any verification from outside? The means if there are some companies who are in competition with our same type of idea.
Part of it, actually, you being the creator of the idea should know of your competitions. That is also part of your submission, actually, because in your business canvas, there is a field called competitors. So
Yes, sir.
you should know your competition. But yeah, most of the time, you may not be aware of your competition. That will be highlighted when we do the evaluation. So because not everybody has understanding of all the products and services that are available in the market. So since you own a particular idea, and it'll be very interesting for you to come up with your to identify your competition, and you counter your competitors. And when you counter the competitors, then you'll have a very strong statement to make, to say that your idea is much better than any other competitions out there.
Okay, sir.
Yes. Okay, maybe we can take some questions from chat. Veena, have any questions? Any important questions?
So there have been many queries asking about where we can find the templates of the submissions that we have they have to do before November 3rd.
Yes. So yeah, like I mentioned previously, also the submission portal will be submission tab within your portal login will be enabled very soon. There you will find all the templates. There you will get all the templates. But meanwhile, please go through the resources that we have that will help you to populate all those templates with ease. Otherwise, if you wait for the template and then you take action, I think it will delay a lot and you may fall back.
They can also find these templates in that go to market section. There is a separate tab called resources, where we have the pitch deck template, the business model canvas template, and also the technical proposal. So when the submission page is launched, there they will have individual tabs for the submission. So before that, they can look into this go to market. Please look into the go to market section, where you have a separate tab mentioned as resources. You will find all the templates there. And moving on to the next. Yes, sir.
With respect to the parameters, we will post it on Discuss. So you will be aware of the parameters we will be evaluating on. Veena.
There is a question that if idea was not good, can we get a chance to change our idea?
No, as soon as we have received your submissions, you cannot change. So whatever you need to do it before your first submission. So we are not going to take your project title anytime now. We have not taken the type of registration also. But at the time of submission, you need to have only one idea, and that cannot be changed. It can be modified a bit. The problem statement can be modified a bit, but not the complete project.
Moving on to the next question. For 2.5 months, we would be in our city or at IIT Bombay. So it's about the implementation sprint that Vandana is asking, and
Yeah,
also about the rest.
Everything will be remote. The only time we will meet in person is at the regional finance. Everything else will be online, and initially it will be through Discuss, only through messages, and then in the implementation sprint, you will have one-on-one meetings with the members of eYantra and the stakeholders of eYantra.
For all of you who have asked about the eYantra lab setup process, please ask your faculty to write to us at support@e-yantra.org. We will once again, Kavi sir had already posted in the chat. We will once again type that email ID. So if they are sending us a mail saying that they have interest in setting up an eYantra lab, then we will be taking them through the next steps in the lab setup process.
Videos. Documentation is more about the template. Please visit the template. You will understand what we are expecting from you in the technical document. But video demo, I think, yeah, you can show your working of. So let's assume that you are pitching an idea and you have built something. So when you shoot a video of that, it should basically show.
Video demonstrations are easy. With respect to documentation, yeah, technical proposal is the document which will have the specifications of your hardware, and the templates are or will be shared with you.
So there is a question for choosing the main problems of disaster management is also tough only by seeing all videos. We can't still find the best problem that is hard in this domain. This was a question asked by Ashwata. If Ashwata could give a better idea of what the question is, it would be nice for us to address that.
Ashwata, are you here in the meet? I don't think she's not in the meet. Ashwardhan, yeah, you can ask a question.
Hello, sir. In the website, that discuss section is there, but I'm not able to log in that section. Why?
Yes. Venkatesh, have we sent out all the credentials to them or not yet?
Sir, the invitations have been sent. Maybe that they will have to look into their spam folder to check it because we have already been receiving queries on the discussion forum.
Okay. So Harshvardhan, please check your mail box, maybe specifically spam, because it's a bulk email. So maybe it's gone residing in your spam. So look for discuss as a keyword and you should find the link to join. We will send out an invite again on Monday, just for the people who have not yet joined. So please look out for the email again on Monday if you have somehow missed it or didn't get the invite. But all of you have, the invite has been sent to all of the registered participants. Okay, so what you have to submit is, I'll repeat it again. There are only 3 entities: business pitch, business canvas, and the technical proposal. These 3 do have a template. The templates will be shared again with you. and will be available on the portal, not on discussion forum, on the portal. So you will find it there. Amrita, you can ask a question, unmute and ask it. Can we add members now, Amrita? Yes, I guess you can. You can email it to us. So you can email us at eyic@e-yantra.org requesting for adding. Harshvardhan has raised his hand again. Harshvardhan, go ahead.
Sir, we are having our university exams in November and December. So, is there will be any extension of any submission?
As of now, no, because we are very tied up with the complete process. So if we delay it even a bit, I think it will hinder. But let's see. It depends on how many are requesting. We do extend it by 1 week maximum, but that is again based on the number of requests we get. So yeah, but maximum we can do is 1 week of extension. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
So I was participating in eYantra Robotics and eYantra Innovation Challenge. Only the persons from both teams.
Sorry, I was not able to hear you clearly. Your voice is too low.
Sir, I am participated in eYantra Robotics and eYantra Innovation Challenge, sir, at present.
Okay.
Participating. Do it was a problem or something?
No, it's not a problem. It's great you are taking part in both. It's good. We did have teams take part previously also, and there are I think once or twice there has been finalists in both. They have come to the finals of eYRC and the finals of eYIC. Very rare, but it does happen.
Okay, sir.
For paralyzed patients, it comes under inclusive cities. Yes, the answer is yes. How to get access? So you can write to us at support@eyantra.org. That is the place where you can ask for. So you need a faculty. Are you a faculty, Chaitanya? Chaitanya, are you a faculty? Okay, so you need a faculty member to ask for a eYantra lab, and I have replied to your previous message, the email address where you can write to us. Okay, any other questions? Sir, how many projects are selected? Yeah, this number is unknown to us. We don't have any fixed number. It'll be great if all of you go to the next round, but it depends on how good your submissions are. So there's no limit as such. So please don't be let down or something like that, because I don't want to give a number that even I don't know. So it should be possible to accommodate as many as possible. Tanushri has a good question. Yes, we are motivating students to have solutions that can be used in India, right? So I think Kavi sir did mention that I'm doing a PhD, but I'm doing a PhD in the agriculture domain, and most of the solutions are there, but for the outside India context. And my research is to do that for the Indian context. So it's good, no problem. Amruta, we didn't tell anything about the eYantra labs as such, but if you want to set up an eYantra lab, you can write to us. If you're a faculty, you can write, or if you're a student, you can ask one of your faculty members to email us, and we'll send them the details of eYantra lab. Andavan, are you asking about the recording? Yes, we will share the recording on Discuss Forum, not through email. Change the team members. Change the team members is a problem.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Harshan.
Sir, do we get any participatory certificate if we are not selected in the second round?
Your voice is faint, but I did hear something about participation certificate. Is that correct?
Sir, no, sir. I am asking whether do we get any participation certificate if we are not selected in the second round or something like that?
We normally don't give at the first stage. The maximum we do is the certificates are the participants are eligible for certificate only after the implementation sprint. So after the implementation sprint, if you have submitted all the documents required for evaluation, then you will get a participation certificate at that stage, but not after the innovation sprint. No, because the number is huge, and we want to have the certificates only to a handful students. So no, the answer is no. Only the certificates are given once you have completed the implementation sprint. So there are three kinds of certificates we'll be issuing: certificate of participation, regional final winners, and the national finals. So these are the three certificates.
Sir, when is the last day to submit a soft copy of a prototype, sir?
The prototype, you mean the proposal, technical proposal? The deadline is 3rd November. And you can work on your prototypes during the time we are taking to shortlist your ideas, because there are a lot of registered teams. So it will take time for us to do the shortlisting. During that time, you'll have to work on your proof of concept. Chaitanya, sir, where we can find the sample projects which are shortlisted? Sample projects, I didn't understand, Chaitanya.
Sir, is it
You
about
mean
the previous years?
I think if you're talking about the previous years, I think every year the shortlisting it changes depending on what the competition is this year. So I don't think that will help much. So we have 5 more minutes before we close the session. So if you have any other questions, Veena, is there any important questions that we need to answer?
So still there are questions asking about the problem statements, if we would provide them or should they choose by their own?
It's better if you choose the problem statements that we did have last year. I think that's why you are asking for it, but we strongly suggest you come up with your own problem statement based on a formal way of looking for problems. It's called problem discovery phase. Sri Hari has raised his hand. You can ask a question.
what all do we have to submit by 3rd November?
3rd November, business pitch, business canvas, and the technical proposal. All three have a template. And after this meeting, we will share the slides. The slides has the parameters that we will be evaluating on those three submissions.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Anushri has raised her hand.
Good evening, sir.
Yes.
Actually, I was the one who asked what if the idea and product is already been invented in other countries and
Mhm.
it's in developmental stage. Can I like present it here, like do some changes to that idea?
Yes, you can. Like I said, yes, you can.
I missed the answer what you were like telling me because of my sir interrupted.
No, the short answer is yes. I was trying to give an
Okay.
example as to my case as well, but yeah, the answer is yes, you can.
Okay, sir. Should we, when should the prototype be ready, within like, within the
December
time
8th.
limit?
December 8th.
Okay, on the first phase, we should just submit the ideas, and the technical part of the prototype.
The first, yeah, you need to submit 3 documents. So first is the business pitch, second is business canvas, and the technical proposal.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Divakar Kumar, does girls' safety comes in themes? Yes, I think in terms of inclusive cities, it can fit. Chintan has raised his hand.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I have one doubt. Sir, what we have to do in a prototyping sprint and implementation sprint?
Implementation sprint is only for teams who have been shortlisted. In prototyping sprint, it is more about you trying to. So when you have done the submission, we expect that you know what you're going to work on. So in the time that we are shortlisting you based on your submission, you have to build a prototype or a proof of concept for your idea in that prototyping sprint. So it can be a scaled down version if it's a huge product that you're trying to solve, build. It can be a scaled down version of it. If you're building a software, you can do some simulation kind of a thing and then show to us as proof of concept.
Okay, sir. So after prototyping, you are shortlisting, and after we get, we go in implementation.
Implementation sprint, yes.
Okay, so first we have to clear a prototyping stage.
Yes.
So in prototype, it's like a normal prototype, small.
Yeah. It's a small thing. It can be small. The main thing is you need to, by doing this prototype, you need to show to us that the idea that you're trying to solve is important and you know how to solve it. That is important.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Last question before we close. Fashion and clothing, I don't think so, Chaitanya. I'm not sure how, what do you mean by fashion or clothing? I don't think that comes under inclusive cities either ways. I'm only looking at the recent questions. So if I've missed any questions that needs to be answered, you can unmute and ask, because we have literally lost track of the number of chat messages we have. A last question and then we can close.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Sir, can we get a participate certificate if which phase if we get a participate certificate, sir?
When you have performed well in the implementation sprint. So implementation sprint, because we'll be engaging with you, right? One-on-one. So if you, come and attend all the review sessions, and then you have done all the hard work, but still you're not able to qualify for the regional finals, then we will give you your certificate of participation. So that will happen only in the implementation sprint. Not everybody who's in the implementation sprint will get a certificate of participation. You have to show your credibility. If you can show that, I think then you will get the certificate. Nobody can stop you from getting the certificate. Chaitanya, a model to help people to get a customized closet for their clothes. No, it still doesn't come under inclusive cities. Maybe you can look at the resources on inclusive cities that we have shared. That will give you a clear understanding of what are the different things that we are looking at in this domain. Okay, I think we should close now. It's been 2 hours and it has been very good. I think most of the questions were reasonable and very important. If you still have questions, like I suggested, please join the Discuss forum. If you have not received the link, we will be sending another one on Monday. Please make sure to check your mailbox, everything, spam or inbox, promotions. Just check all the tabs and see if you can find the link there. So thank you once again for everyone to attend this orientation. Again, formally welcome to the competition. We look forward to see you personally in the regional finals. Best of luck and see you. So I'll be closing the meet. So everybody will be kicked out automatically. So bye-bye.